Hello everyone. So continuing the second part of the chapter refraction of light at plane surfaces. In the last lecture we had discussed about the refraction taking place through a prism. Now in this lecture we will discuss about the factor affecting the angle of deviation. So what are the factors which affect the angle of deviation? So we can say that on what factor angle of deviation depends. So it has been found that the angle of deviation depends on first angle of incidence I, then it depends on the material of the prism, that is on refractive index, third angle of prism, and fourth the color or wavelength of light used. So these are the four factors on which the angle of deviation depends. Now one by one we will discuss the factors in detail. So first factor is your dependence of angle of deviation on the angle of incidence. So this is simply we can say that it will be different from other dependence that we had studied, because in this case when we plot a graph between the angle of deviation and angle of incidence, so we will see that with the increase in the angle of incidence, first the value of angle of deviation decreases. As you can see, this is angle of incidence on x-axis, angle of deviation on y-axis. So if we plot a graph by doing an experiment, so in that case when we take angle of incidence on x-axis and angle of deviation on y-axis, so we will see that with increase in the angle of incidence, first the value of deviation start decreasing, and then it reaches to a minimum value, which is we name this one as the angle of deviation, minimum angle of deviation, delta minimum. And then after this value of delta minimum, it will start increasing. So this is a kind of graph that we get for plotting between the angle of incidence and angle of deviation. It will first decrease, reaches to a minimum value, and then it will start increasing with the increase in angle of incidence. Now about the experiment, so again, since this is an experiment that we had to do in lab and that is not possible, so I am just explaining you the experiment, and again if we get a chance to do the practical then we'll do. So in the case of refraction through a glass block, I told you the experiment, so same process we have to apply here also, and for this also we'll use the A4 size paper, and then on this paper we'll keep the prism. So when we keep the prism, so we have to keep the prism on this paper so that the triangular section of the prism will be on the surface, means on the, when we draw the outline, so you will get a triangular section. Clear? So how you will keep the prism? You will keep the prism so that the triangular cross section will come on the page. So when you put the prism, so suppose this is the outline that you will get. Clear? So this is the prism outline that you will get when you put the prism triangular section on the A4 size paper. Now what you have to do, you have to draw a angle of normal just on the middle point, like we had done in the refractive index, refraction through a glass block. We put the glass block, make an outline, and then we draw the normal. So here also what we have to do, first we have to keep the prism. The point is that we have to keep the prism on the paper in the way that we'll get the triangular section of the prism, triangular outline. Now you have to draw a normal from the middle point of this prism. From any angle, draw an angle of incidence. Clear? So suppose this is the angle of incidence of 30 degree, any angle you can start. Now what you have to do, you have to place two pins, one here and one here. Two pins you will place here, and then you will again keep the prism on this outline. Clear? So again you will, when you will keep this prism on this outline, now you will start seeing from the other side, this face. If you are putting the prism, taking the angle of incidence on this face, so on the other face, these two faces are the refracting surfaces. So here when you place the two pins, now you will keep the prism on this paper, and from this side this side of the prism, you will see the image of these two pins. So you will see that you will get, and also you have to see that these two pins, and on other side the two pins that you will put, all four pins comes in a straight line. So if they are coming in a straight line, then mark that 2 points. So suppose here we are getting, so we'll mark these 2 points and then make a small circle. Clear? Now what you have to do, just check it properly that these two pins and the other that you are putting here on the other side, all these four pins are coming in a straight line. So when you will see that. So when they are coming in a straight line, just remove the pin, mark the point and remove the prism. Now join these 2 points. So just join these 2 points, and then inside just join this line. Clear? So this is what you will get. So now this will become your incident ray, this will be your refracted ray, and this will be your, what it will be, this will be the emergent ray. Now you have to draw normal on this surface also. Clear? So this will become your angle of emergence. Clear? So this is your angle of incidence and this is your angle of emergence. Now for finding the angle of deviation, what we have to do, we have to extend this line and we have to extend the emergent ray. So suppose they are meeting at this point, so this angle will be your angle of deviation delta. Clear? So this will be your angle of deviation delta. Also if you extend this line normal, so this will be your R1 and here this will be your R2. So in this case, this is the diagram that we had put. Now this will be your I, this angle will be your R1, this will become your R2. Clear? So this is how you have to do the experiment. I am just explaining you, and in each of the case you will start increasing the, again you will do this experiment. Suppose this you had done on 30 degree, so the next time when you will do with 40 degree or 35 degree, then 40, then 45, and for different values of I you will get different values of this delta. So then you can plot the graph between I and delta. So this is by plotting the graph between I and delta, this is how you will get the graph. First the value of I, when you will start plotting the graph, so you will see that when you are increasing the value of I, the values of delta will start decreasing, and then it reaches to a point where it becomes minimum, and then it will start increasing. So for a given prism there will be only one angle of minimum deviation. For each of the prism we will get the minimum deviation only for one angle, and in that case the angle of incidence becomes equal to the angle of emergence. That case means, in that case I and E value will comes out to be equal. Clear? So when you do this experiment for different angles, so you will find that for a given angle, only for one angle for a given prism, that I will be equal to E and R1 will be equal to R2, and in that case we'll say that this will be the minimum deviation. So in that case, in the position of minimum deviation, you will see that I will become equal to E, R1 will become equal to R2, and in that case delta deviation will be your minimum deviation. So in the last lecture we had discussed this relation between angle of incidence, emergence, deviation and angle of prism, that is I plus E is equal to delta plus A. So when I and E will be equal for minimum deviation, 2I will becomes equal to delta minimum plus A. So minimum deviation delta minimum will become equal to 2I minus A. So if you know the angle of incidence and angle of prism, you can find the minimum deviation for a given prism. Clear? So this is the factor of dependence of angle of deviation with the angle of incidence. First the value will decrease with the increase in angle of incidence, and then it will start increasing with the increase in angle of incidence. From where? First it reaches to the delta minimum, and from there it will start increasing. So this is the first factor on which the angle of deviation depends. Now the second factor. So second is your dependence of angle of deviation on the material of the prism, that is the refractive index. So in this case, for a given angle of incidence, the deviation increases with the increase in refractive index. So when the refractive index will increase, the angle of deviation or will also increase. That means they have a direct relation. Clear? So when refractive index will increase, the angle of deviation is increase. Just keep in mind, they have a direct relation. When mu, refractive index, will increase for a given prism, then the deviation will also increase for that prism. So if we have a flint glass and a crown glass, so in that case, when refractive index of the flint glass is more than the refractive index of a crown glass, so in that case, deviation of a flint glass will be more than the deviation of a crown glass. Now the third factor, we have dependence of angle of deviation on angle of prism. So here also, when the deviation will increase, the angle of prism will also increase. Clear? Now the fourth factor, we have the dependence of angle of deviation on the color or wavelength of light. Now this is the factor. Just now I told you that angle of deviation increases with the increase in refractive index, and refractive index depends on wavelength. So in the first part of the chapter, we had discussed that how the refractive index increases with the wavelength, and wavelength depends on speed of light. We all had discussed this thing. So in this case, refractive index decreases with the increase in wavelength of light. We know that. Then the deviation will be more for the light of smaller wavelength. So is it clear? Refractive index, we know that decreases with the increase in wavelength of light. We had discussed this thing, that red color will have the maximum wavelength, so it will have the minimum refractive index. Violet will have the minimum wavelength, so it will have the maximum refractive index. Now since refractive index and deviation has a direct relation, so when refractive index will increase, the deviation will increase, and when the refractive index will increase, when the wavelength will decrease. Clear? So keep in mind that refractive index decreases with the increase in the wavelength of light. I hope till now you remember this thing. Now the deviation will be more for the light of smaller wavelength. So because refractive index will be more for the smaller wavelength, so deviation will also be more for the smaller wavelength. So delta violet, that means the deviation for violet color will be more than the deviation of the red color. Why? Because the refractive index of violet color will be greater than the refractive index of the red color. So delta and mu have a direct relation. When mu will increase, delta will increase. Now mu and delta will have an inverse relation, we had seen. So when for violet color, the wavelength is minimum, so refractive index is more. Wavelength of red color is maximum, so therefore refractive index of red color is minimum. So these are the factors on which the angle of deviation depends. Also there is a point that deviation at different angles of incidence. How the deviation takes place, as I told you, when we do the experiment for different angles. So this is the type of the figures you will get for different angle of incidence. So first, suppose this experiment you had done for 30 degree, then you had done for 48 degree, then you had done for 30 degree. Like for different angles you will do this experiment, and then you will check what will be the minimum, the deviation you are getting, and in which case you are getting I will be equal to E, that will be the minimum deviation case. So this is, just think like this. You do this experiment, so you will keep this the prism on the paper like this, as I told you, and then you will draw an angle of incidence, put 2 pins on this side of it. You will see the image of 2 pins, and then you remove the pins and join these lines. So this is how the figure you will get. Now in this you can see that when the angle of incidence is 70 degree, angle of emergence is 33 degree. And when you extend this incident ray and the emergent ray, this angle of deviation you are getting 43 degree. What about R1 and R2? So when you will have an angle of incidence, so and by doing this experiment you are getting angle of emergence, you can check this angle of deviation also. And for R1 and R2 we have the formula for refractive index mu is equal to sin I by sin R. So by using that formula we can find the value of R1 and R2 also. So in this case we are getting 70 degree for angle of incidence, angle of emergence 33 degree and deviation 43 degree. Next, for angle of incidence 48 degree we are getting angle of emergence 48 degree and the deviation as 36 degree. Clear? This is your deviation delta. Here also this is your deviation delta. Now in this case angle of incidence is your 30 degree, angle of emergence is your 77 degree and the deviation delta you are getting as 47 degree. Now you check that in which case you are getting the angle of incidence equal to the angle of emergence. So here you can see that this is 70, this is 33 degree, this is 48 degree, this is 48 degree. That means this will be the case of minimum deviation. In this case the ray of light becomes parallel to the base of the prism. As you can see in all these three, every case you will not see that the incident ray after reflection becomes parallel to the base of the prism. Only in the case of minimum deviation you will see that it will be parallel to the base of the prism. You can see here also it is not parallel, here also it is not parallel, it is parallel only in this case. The base of the prism, the refracted ray is parallel to the base of the prism, and this will be the case for the minimum deviation. Is it clear? So this is how we can find out the case for the minimum deviation, and the experiment I have explained. You can search it on the YouTube also. There will be some videos for doing the experiment for prism. For that if you will watch that, then it will become more clear how to do this experiment, and when the school will reopen or will get the chance, then we will do this experiment in lab, so that will help you more to understand this thing. So the point is that what I want to explain you can see that deviation will be different for the different angle of incidence, but there will be a case in which the angle of incidence and angle of emergence will be same and for a given prism, and in that case we will get the minimum deviation. So here you can see for I is equal to 70 degree, E we are getting 33 degree and delta is your 43 degree. For I is 48 degree, E is equal to 48 degree, we are getting delta is equal to 36 degree. For third figure, this one, I is equal to 30 degree, E is equal to 77 degree, delta we are getting 47 degree. And delta minimum, just now we had discussed the formula for delta minimum. So delta minimum you can find it by 2I minus A. So if angle of the prism is given, angle of incidence is given, then we can find the minimum deviation. That is, suppose if we are finding for angle of incidence of this case, so this will become 2 into 48 minus, suppose this is the equilateral prism. So in case of equilateral prism we have the all angles equal, so in that case only we'll get the minimum deviation, and in that case this will become your 60 degree. So 2 into 48 it will be 96 minus 60 degree, so this will be your 36 degree. So you can see that delta is coming 36 degree. So this is also how you can find out the minimum deviation if your angle of incidence and angle of prism is given. So I hope that this topic is clear to you. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me. It is very important to clear your doubt when you are watching the videos, because that will help you to clear your concept. So that is why I am saying for every video I am saying that if you have any doubt, any kind of doubt, don't hesitate, just ask. I will clear your doubt, and that will make your concept more clear, because these are very important topics. Thank you.